Hello everyone, this is Aegis, and this is the first game between the British Columbia Institute of Technology and Texas A&M University. I decided to cast these games because 3 of the games that were played in this match were marked as epic or really awesome. So I decided to pick these replays up and cast them, and here we do have a Juffalo spawning as the purple Zerg player for Texas A&M, and in the other corner I do have a Starhunk spawning as the green Terran player. This is being played on Xel'Naga Caverns, and both of these players are really high level diamond players, and these games are from the Collegiate Star League. You can check out the Collegiate Star League at cstarleague.com. We also do post plenty of games here at youtube.com/cstarleague for you to watch from the Collegiate Star League. There are 144 schools in the Collegiate Star League that do play games every weekend. Juffalo is looking like he's going for his hatch, maybe. We'll see if he's saving minerals up for his hatch or if he's trying to get his pool. There we do have gas going down, so he will be going gas pool, the gas first build. And again, this is the Collegiate Star League, and I do also have another announcement. The other announcement is for the Collegiate Masters Star League. It will be a tournament held at UMBC on February 12th. It will be live at UMBC. We'll be playing tons of games, best of 3 matches between 64 players. All of these matches will be broadcast live as well. We'll have a link for that sometime in the future. We haven't decided if we're using live stream or Ustream. And the prize pool is $900 in cash prizes right now. So be sure to tune into that. And if you do want to play in it, you can send a cmstarleague@gmail.com an email, and we'll let you know all about it. And we do have Juffalo now getting his pool up. We also do see Starhunk getting out some Marines, getting his orbital command at a standard time, not yet walling this off. He's not getting any gas, so we'll see what he decides to do. Maybe he's going for an expansion command center. He is getting quite close to that number. So 400 minerals now. We'll see if what he decides to do. It looks like he is pulling his SCV back. He's going to decide to build it in his main instead of out in the natural. Juffalo has not picked up his expansion yet. He does have an Overlord spotting his natural expansion, and SCV checking it out here to see if that expansion is on the way. 2 Zerglings now out on the field, and speed is being researched. Juffalo is reaching the point where he can start getting that expansion. He should send a drone out there real soon to try to set that up. There we go. The expansion now getting set up for Juffalo, and we do have Starhunk throwing down 2 additional barracks to help his production of the army units as he gets his command center up. Now this SCV is scouting over here, looking for any overlords that he can pick off. This overlord is still here on the way, not quite in range of those marines yet. Zerglings now scouting out the map. On this map, we sometimes do see Zerg players go for Muta, Baneling. It's quite standard against Terran, especially if he's going for this mass marine play. We also do see Zergs try to get a bunch of bases up real quick to try to hold off the Terran player while they try to tech to Broodlords or Ultralisks. This map is quite balanced, but a lot of players do really like this map. People do choose to be on this map simply because they can know exactly where their opponents are, unlike Metalopolis. Metalopolis is also quite a balanced map. We do have Starhunk mining from this refinery, and one of the SCVs was going back and forth at this command center instead. Starhunk not quite getting any add-ons yet. He did grab the double gas here, and the Zerg is now getting a Baneling's Nest. Maybe he wants to go for a bust, or he's just trying to be safe against those Marines. We do have this SCV moving over here. This Zergling will be able to pick it. Oh, decides not to. These Zerglings will pick it off, though. Juffalo now trying to get his natural expansion saturated. Has a queen here as well, and a queen in the main, getting that nice larval vomits off. Really good timing there. Just as that larval vomit popped off, Juffalo got his second larval vomit off immediately. He is also starting the creep spread to link his bases together. This queen also dropping a creep tumor here. We also have Zergling spotting the backside of this expansion, and Starhunk has now landed his expansion command center and has begun to mine with these mules. We do have the Zergling swinging through the back here. Gonna try to pick off that mule there. Ooh, there goes 300 minerals worth of energy. Starhunk not gonna be very happy about losing that. He is now getting his factory up, also starting stim pack. Zerg is producing plenty of drones, is also getting these 2 spine crawlers to help defend his natural expansion. He's also getting an additional queen. Where is that queen coming out? It's another queen here. Maybe it's just for the express purpose of laying those creep tumors. Some players do really like having that as an option. We do have Zerg swinging to the side with a ton of Zerglings. We'll see what he decides to do. Maybe run by and kill off a bunch of SCVs. Starhunk does have these Marines in position to deal with that, though. Stim is now 50% complete. We also do see an engineering bay on the way on the backside. These Zerglings are going to try to pick at this, are going to take out that SCV, and Starhunk is going to be forced to cancel that, and he does get the cancel, and those Zerglings are going to run in here and meet with the bunch of Marines and are going to back out there. We also do see a lair tech on the way. It's almost complete. He's also grabbing gas at his natural, perhaps going to be going for some muto play. We also do see siege mode on the way. The first siege tank is also on its way out. That engineering bay is being restarted here. He's going to want those infantry upgrades for his Marines to bolster that siege tank for his force that he's trying to get out. We do have a starport here with a reactor and another engineering bay going here. 3 engineering bays. Interesting play here coming from our Terran player. And we do have a centrifugal hooks on the way for the banelings at the banelings nest. We do see the quivering of the banelings nest, and we also see the Zerglings poking again at this engineering bay. Starhunk is going to need to reinforce that to hold the Zerglings off. Is also going to start repairing that engineering bay to prevent it from going down. The creep threat is getting closer and closer to these Terran base. It's now creeped halfway across the map, and Zerg does have those banelings out on the field. Will be able to deal with mass Marine play. Starhunk now grabbing the fourth gas of the game for himself, having both in the main as well. He is also getting an armory. Interesting play. Is going to try to get some mech out on the field in addition to the mass infantry. We are seeing double reactors coming up, as well as the double upgrade coming out of the 2 engineering bays in the main. I guess this engineering bay is for the express purpose of blocking Zergling run-bys. These Zerglings taking a rest by these rocks. We do see Zerg with full map control. He basically sees every single attack path to his base. He'll spot any medevac drops. These Zerglings are going to poke through the front to see what's up. That siege tank is going to kill 2 Zerglings and force those Zerglings to back out. We now do see a spire coming up as well. Where's the spire? Wherever it is coming up. There's the spire. It's building. It's almost complete. We will be seeing Muto Baneling on the field. And we also do see the Zerg picking off these back rocks, is wanting to expand one more time. This Overlord still hasn't really done much swatting here, but Starhunk does know about those Mutalisks, is going to get a ton of turrets in his main. Will be preventing those Mutalisks from doing any harass. Juffalo now getting his 3rd base up and running. Tons of Mutalisks on the way, well, 5 Mutalisks on the way, and the flyer attacks level 1 is now being researched. Tons of Zerglings out on the field now. We are reaching the 100 food count area now, and same with Starhunk. He is now at nearly 100 food. Zerg is now also getting tons of drones. These banelings chilling out in the middle, also grabbing the double gas at his 3rd expansion. Zerglings are going to come over here and check for a 3rd for the Terrans. Terran not quite having that up yet, but we do see Terran getting more additional barracks and the +2 upgrades, as well as Terran vehicles level 1. So I guess he was not really going for Thors, as I don't see any Thors on the way. He's just getting these upgrades for these siege tanks to make them all that much more powerful. Now the Mutalisks moving out. These Mutalisks will be running into a wall of turrets right here and will not be able to do much damage. We also do have these Zerglings positioning themselves nearby the gold. They should actually try to pick off those rocks there, we do have the Mutalisks being forced to back out. The turrets not quite taking any of the Mutalisks out yet, but we do see the ground carapace level 1 also being completed for Zerg, as well as 10 more Zerglings on the way. It'd be good for Zerg to try to pick up his gold base right now, as Terran is being quite passive here. Starhunk is finally moving out, perhaps wanting to pick off these rocks. We also do have the Mutalisks over here. The Marines are in position to deal with those Mutalisks, and they do also have the stim pack upgrade. They can easily stim and take out all of those Mutalisks. Now we do see a Terran taking out the rocks here, and Zerg getting his third base saturated. The Mutalisks poking in the back is going to see if there's anything that they can pick off. The Marines here will be able to... There's not quite that many Marines over here, but Juffalo does not quite know that these rocks are going down, so we will be seeing a gold expansion for the Terran player very soon. Juffalo getting another hatch in his main to help production along. He's also now getting the infestation pit, and we have Terran infantry weapons a level 2 finishing up, as well as Terran vehicle weapons level 2 starting right now. Terran is probably looking to secure this center gold with a planetary fortress, reinforce it with these Sage Shanks, and make it really, really hard for Zerg to break without using tons of banelings to explode the planetary fortress, which Juffalo does have plenty of. He was a little bit supplied blocked there, but easily got those overlords out to reinforce. Now we do finally see Thor's on the way, and not quite getting the Terran infantry weapons level 3 yet, but I do assume that he will be headed for that. He's been quite good on the upgrades throughout this game. He's also has a Sea Shank guarding the back just in case. We do have the command center now floating over to land. Additional turrets being thrown down. Does want to make sure it's a really safe here. Terran now reaching 170 food. And Zerg is finally taking out those rocks here. He could have done that such a long time ago and had such a huge income, but he opted not to. These Terran units moving over here, scanning to get rid of those creep tumors. Does want to stop this creep from spreading very, very, very far. So Juffalo does have the Mutalisks, not quite able to do anything with them during this game. He is finally getting his hive tech up. He's plenty of money. 7 more Mutalisks on the way. And finally, we do see the Terran infantry weapons level 3 on the way. Is going to make these Marines very strong. Their DPS is just going to be absurd, especially if they stim. Mutalisks are going to come over here and pick off this engineering bay. Of course, it's not researching anything, as we do have the researching going on in the main. An idle SCV over here. The Mutalisks moving forward is going to try to pick off that gas. They found a sweet spot there where they can just keep attacking, and that gas will go down. Well, a single Marine there getting one-shotted by those Mutalisks. All we have is this one turret here. Starhunk is going to have to move a Thor in to deal with this. That Thor is coming in through the side. We don't have any Marines reinforcing this, though. Starhunk also has a vulnerable side in the main. Only one turret there, but he can get a repair off on that as well. The armory now completing beautiful weapons at level 2. Not quite being able to use those Mutalisks to their full potential. Starhunk's medevacs are maxed out at energy, and we do see a push now up against the Zerg gold base. The banelings, Mutalisks, Zerglings now getting into position is going to use the scan to pick off all of these creep tumors here. These Zerglings now streaming in through the side, getting held off by a Thor and a couple of Marines there. Not quite able to push up against the main Terran position here. These Sea Shanks are also in a great position. We also have this Thor and the Marines all coming up here, and the Banelings are now rolling forward. The Marines are microing back, gonna have to back up behind those Sea Shanks. Wants to be behind that Thor so that nothing can happen to those Marines. The Zerglings now streaming forward. The Sea Shanks blasting away all of those Zerglings, and all that's left are these Mutalisks. They can magic box the Thor, but we do still have tons of Marines on the field, and we do have weapons level 3 for the infantry now completing. Terran is advancing forward with these Marines and medevacs, and the single Thor is going to be able to take this expansion out. The Stim Pack doing a great job of making those Marines insanely powerful. Going to take that out, no problem. Tons of Mutalisks over here. Going to pick off this small group of reinforcing Marines. The Sea Shanks also moving over here, and the Mutalisks are going to be able to pick off, not quite being able to pick off all 3 tanks. The Marines reinforcing just in time. The Medivacs making good use of that energy. Now the Marines streaming forward. The Banelings getting off all their splashes, killing off all the Marines, and the Mutalisks now do clean up the remaining mech army from Starhunk. Starhunk now sneaking an expansion over here, gonna throw up a bunch of turrets as well as a planetary fortress. But the Mutalisks look like they're gonna be spotting this before everything completes. It's gonna start picking off those turrets, and he should cancel this planetary fortress to save the money from that. Is gonna let that go down apparently. We do have now Terran pushing forward with additional mech and infantry ball. He's going to be able to take out a couple of Zerglings here. Definitely does want to take down the this gold expansion in order to even out the income tab, since the Zerg has held additional bases over the Terran player for the vast majority of the game. These Banelings being morphed here, not quite in time to deal with all of these Marines, and Sea Shanks streaming forward. We do have additional reinforcements pouring out of the Terran base. The Banelings going off on a couple of the Marines there, but not quite taking out all of them. Broodlords now on the field. I totally missed the morphing of that Greater Spire, but we do have the Broodlords able to take out those Marines along with the Mutalisks now flying in through the backside, taking huge losses to that Mutalisk count. We did have a full 1 page worth. Now there's only 8 left. Those Broodlords are going to be able to clean up the attacking Terran force, but Terran still is macroing very well. He even is banking minerals. He's going to continue pushing SCVs out. He's got to try to secure his 4th base real soon, as all of his expansions are running really dry. SCV is now transferring over to the main. We also do have Vikings out on the field, additional Vikings on the way. That Corruptor is caught totally out of position over that missile turret. The Mutalisks are going to be able to pick that 1 Viking off. The Marines not quite being able to respond. That Zergling is going to pick off that SCV that is making this command center and is going to delay this expansion all the more. Juffalo moving forward with those Broodlords is going to start sieging this planetary fortress. The Mutalisks moving forward, and the Marines stimming and running forward, going to be able to take out all of these Broodlords. Broodlords are really slow, cannot quite be microed back. The Zerglings now streaming forward, and that planetary fortress is going to need to be repaired if he does want to survive. The Banelings moving forward and trying to chase down the Marines, not quite be able to do it. Going to boom go all the SCVs. All that's left is not even the planetary fortress, but Terran still has his main Marine force, additional Marines now reinforcing, as well as these Vikings now in the air, going to be able to deal with any additional Broodlords. Zerg did lose the vast majority of his army at 108 food. Terran is pulling forward at, actually they're quite even. Terran is pulling forward in terms of army units, so he is going to be able to take out this expansion once again. Not quite being able to deal with the gold expansion, but will be able to deny Zerg ever getting this fourth base running comfortably. Terran is finally picking up his 4th base as well. The scan going down is going to see all the Banelings and Zerglings running forward. The Marines stimming up is going to try to dodge those Banelings, but does not work. All the Marines being taken out, and the Zerglings doing the cleanup work, mopping up all of those Marines. Starhunk now retaking the gold expansion with a command center, and is trying to get up this expansion here. He has way too many SCVs here. It may even do him well to just long distance mine, as these SCVs are doing so with the gas. More Marines streaming forward, and Thor's now popping out as well. We'll see how he's doing on the upgrades. Terran vehicle weapons level 3 is not quite there yet, but he does have a +2 on the attack for his vehicles, and this planetary fortress is now morphing here, and SCVs are transferring down here to get that expansion mining. Zerg is doing quite well actually at this gold base, but is looking really dry on that money because he has not been able to secure this base, and it is basically only on 1 base. Gold expansions might be able to be counted as 2 bases, but really in reality Zerg is quite a ways behind, since Starhunk has been able to resecure his gold base as well as secure this backside expansion, which has plenty of minerals. And these Marines being dropped in the main here, The medevacs going to be able to do, with the medevacs are going to be able to do tons of damage here. Going to take out some vital tech structures. Are going to prevent the making of any more Zerglings, and going to load up there and just escape with the vast majority of his forces. Oh, what is he doing? Dropping there. Maybe trying to get rid of those banelings. Oh, we do have the Mutalisks here. Are going to be able to clean this up as well as kill off the medevacs. We do have Broodlords now attacking the center again. The Marines stimming forward, going to be able to take out these Broodlords again. These two Broodlords escaping with their lives, not quite being able to deal with the Marines stimming up and attacking over the ledge. Now Thor's guarding the expansion here as well. Starhunk looking quite good on the money front. Juffalo just now getting this back expansion up and running once again. He is looking very broke. The Sea Shank sieging up in a poor position there, is surrounded by those Zerglings, but is still able to deal with it. All of those Zerglings getting blasted to pieces, and these two Thors doing quite well, holding off against the big Broodlords and Zerglings running forward. The Sea Shank surviving with just 6 HP, and there's just these two Broodlords here. Transfuses going off on the Broodlords, does want to keep those alive as long as possible. And a Mutalisk now streaming forward. It does look like the Zerg will be able to hold off this attack. And the additional transfuses, very good micro to keep these two Broodlords alive. Again, energy is free, and Broodlords are definitely not. These Broodlords are going to be able to take out that Sea Shank, and possibly these Marines as well. The Marines stimming and focusing down these Broodlords here. Will be able to take one down and possibly even get the other one. And he does take down the other Broodlord, losing a lot of stuff here. Zerg does look like he's very far behind at 55 food. Terran is doing quite well at 107 and still reinforcing. Zerg has lost tons of more minerals than our Terran player. Terran is now stimming forward and going to be able to take out the gold expansion. Finally is going to deny mining here, and if we look at the income tab, Zerg's income is half of the Terran players. With the mules and everything, Terran is looking really strong right now. Additional reinforcements just streaming out. Vikings also on the way. Still getting those Sea Shanks up at once again. He does have the money to get those units now. Investors popping out just a little bit too late to lock down those Terran armies. Zerg has basically just this expansion, and these two medevacs know all about it, and these Marines will be able to take this expansion out, and soon it will be GG. And it does look like we're getting close to the end, but Juffalo is just hanging on here. Marines streaming through the backside, through the front side. Going to take out all of these drones here, even taking out a investor. I think I saw an investor. GG calls Juffalo, and this first game does go to Texas A&M, or no, it goes to British Columbia Institute of Technology, and we'll be seeing if Texas A&M can come back. Both of these teams are quite strong, full of high-level players, and will be going right into Game 2.